All right, today we're going to dive into a pretty fascinating case study. It's really all about engineering versus nature, and it's happening in Phoenix, where the city is in a constant, kind of invisible war with the home's most essential system, its plumbing.
So everything, and I mean everything, starts with this basic fact. It's not just that it's hot, it's the change. It's relentless. I mean, just try to imagine the stress on any material when it's forced to expand in that blistering sun and then contract in the cool desert night, day after day, year after year.
And what that creates is this constant, invisible force just hammering away at a home's infrastructure. It's really just basic physics, right? Thermal expansion. But here, it acts like a slow-motion earthquake, just continuously weakening the very veins of the house.
Yeah, that's the real kicker, isn't it? Because in Phoenix, the attack isn't just coming from the air. Oh no. The ground itself is an active player in this battle, and that's where things get really, really challenging.
To really wrap your head around this, you have to meet what I'm calling the four main environmental antagonists. These are the unique forces that make plumbing in Phoenix basically a specialized form of combat engineering.
So first up is caliche soil. Just think of it as a layer of natural, rock-hard concrete right under your house. So when those monsoon rains come, this soil swells up, and when it dries out, it shrinks back down. This movement puts incredible pressure on the pipes buried right under the foundation, and that leads to these hidden and unbelievably destructive slab leaks.
Next, believe it or not, we have the water itself. Phoenix has some of the hardest water in the entire country. And all those minerals, they act just like cholesterol for your home's plumbing, building up layer after layer of this white, crusty scale. This stuff slowly chokes off water flow, it ruins your faucets, and it will absolutely destroy your water heater.
Our third enemy is, of course, the famous Phoenix heat. I mean, when temperatures soar past 115 degrees, the water in any exposed pipe can get superheated. This creates this intense pressure inside the whole system. It's basically an annual stress test that actively seeks out and breaks every single weak joint or aging connection it can find.
And finally, there's the monsoon. And let me tell you, these storms are no joke. They can dump a massive amount of water in a ridiculously short amount of time. Older drainage systems just can't handle that volume, and the result is, well, it's a disaster. The system literally reverses, and your home's own drains become a fire hose of sewer backup and flooding.
So, with these four enemies constantly on the attack, how does a house actually tell you it's losing the fight? The signs, they're often subtle at first, but they are the absolutely crucial warnings that your system is under siege. These right here are the symptoms. That warm spot on your floor, that could be a slab leak from the caliche soil shifting. Those gurgling toilets or slow drains, yep, that's often a sign of that mineral buildup from the hard water. And an unexplained high water bill, that's the #1 clue that your system has been breached somewhere, somehow. And here's the most important part. You can't ignore these warnings. A small problem that's left unchecked in this environment, it will not stay small for long. The financial stakes, they just escalate dramatically, and they do it fast.
Look, if you catch a problem early, let's say it's just a simple clog or a minor leak, the repair is totally manageable. This is the cost of being proactive, of paying attention to those little warning signs.
But what if you don't? What if that caliche soil shifts and finally just crushes a main sewer line? All of a sudden, you are not talking about a few $100s anymore. You are looking at a potential $8,000 catastrophe. And in the absolute worst-case scenario, where hard water has choked pipes all through the house and that heat stress has created multiple weak points, you could be facing a full system failure. And the cost to repipe an entire home? That can hit $15,000. That is the ultimate price of the desert's war on your plumbing.
But look, it is not a hopeless fight. Not at all. This is where specialized, local knowledge becomes your most powerful defense. Plumbers in Phoenix have developed this incredible, unique arsenal of tools and techniques designed specifically to combat these conditions.
Let's just take drain cleaning, for example. A standard plumber's snake, it just punches a hole through a clog. But in Phoenix, where that hard water scale is coating the entire inside of the pipe, you need something way more powerful, like hydrojetting. It uses super high-pressure water to literally scour the pipe clean. It's a real, long-term solution, not just a temporary fix.
And get this, even choosing the right material for your pipes is a huge strategic decision. Copper is tough. It's a durable standard, but it's really vulnerable to that hard water scale. Now, PEX, which is a flexible plastic pipe, resists mineral buildup way better, but you absolutely have to protect it from the intense UV sunlight, which will make it degrade.
See? There's a trade-off for every single choice.
And all of this hard-won knowledge gets baked right into the local building codes. Seriously, these aren't just bureaucracy. They're a survival guide written from decades of experience. They mandate things like backflow prevention to protect the city's water supply, and they require water-efficient fixtures. These rules are a direct response to the desert's insane challenges. So, knowing all this, how should you respond when one of those warning signs pops up? The key is having a clear, logical process. It takes all the panic out of the situation and puts you back in control.
The professional approach is always methodical. Step 1, an expert gets dispatched. Step 2, they use modern tools like tiny cameras to diagnose the exact problem and give you a clear, written estimate. No surprises. And finally, Step 3, the repair gets done, it gets tested, and it gets guaranteed. It's a process built for clarity and, well, for peace of mind.
Ultimately, when you boil it all down, the big takeaway is this. Your home isn't just a structure. It's an ecosystem, and it's constantly interacting with a much larger and often pretty hostile environment. So whether you live in the desert, on the coast, or in the mountains, understanding those specific local pressures is the absolute key to protecting your investment.
So, I'll just leave you with this thought. Right now, your home's essential systems are fighting a battle against the local environment. The only question is, do you know who's winning?